Sirius XM Hacky. How excited. Does that sound good? He's wet for you. How nice. Everybody in the pool. So anyway, kitty cats, we got another fun hour to spend with you, and I hope you're enjoying it. And I thank you for your advice on there. You're a tough crowd too. I was expecting it all like, Frank, you're an asshole. I appreciate that. There's a little bit of, but I went too far. And the problem is when you go too far and you add in that the extra bit, now with extra bitchy, when you add that in there, you ruin it for yourself because you can't go, hey, I'm scot-free. It's like, no, I wasn't scot-free. I kind of went too far. I did a naughty. But sometimes you have to do it. But I hope some good. If he never speaks to me again, but it kind of gave him a wake-up call to realize that he shouldn't be as difficult in getting together with friends, that he should try and be a little easier on other people, and he gets a boyfriend out of the whole thing just because he takes my advice to heart, it would be nice. I'd be happy. If he doesn't talk to me but he gets a boyfriend, I'll be happy for him. He shouldn't be so. I mean, he is genuinely depressed, But it's like, I don't know, sometimes I was having tough love day, the whole thing. I had a good heart to heart with a dear friend of mine that day, it wasn't Doria Biddle tough love, but there was a little bit of tough love there. But it was also wrapped in I'm here for you if you need me. So hopefully that was okay. But sometimes you gotta take the gloves off, I guess, and do it. Just don't go too far. Don't make the mistake I did and go too far and say awful, awful things. As fun as that is in the moment, don't give in and go there. Don't go right to the vitriol. Go for the funny. That'd be much better. So I do want to tell you guys, speaking of going for the funny, if you go to SiriusXM.com/OutQ or SiriusOutQ, excuse me, SiriusOutQ.com. I'm loving week 3 of the cold, or week 4 of the cough, rather. It's a thrill and a delight. Anyway, it's week 3. When I started getting around January 1st. It's 20 days. We're on week 3. It's fun. Anyway, I was going to say, go to SiriusOutQ.com or SiriusXM.com/OutQ, and there are SoundCloud files there of the best moments of the Frank Show. Someone said a best of again. They said, you don't have that much best of to spread around. And I was like, that's what I said. I said, cope. Wrote back to them because we weren't on yesterday.
Something that we did not mention.
What?
An announcement that was made at
maybe I don't know
the mismatch game. When we went to the mismatch game, they announced
what?
The next interview that Coco Peru is doing, where she gets on stage and she talks to various stars.
Can I give him a clue without saying the name?
But wait, one clue that I would give would be that I have never heard a gayer collective gasp in my life.
They did the
from
gay gasp.
An audience. I mean, it really was magnified by however many people were in that room.
Yeah, it was gay exponential reaction. Gay gasp exponentially.
So Coco Peru on stage at the
here's
center,
your guess.
Shitty
lights. Okay, shitty lights. That's your guess. Okay, Liza. Coco Peru and Liza.
Imagine a room full of gay men when they make that announcement.
They clutched. There was an entire room of men clutching the pearls and gasping. It was, yeah. It was great. It was the gay gasp.
That was one of the biggest laughs of the night for me. That sound made me laugh hysterically.
When we're all so predictable, it's hilarious. When gays get that predictable, it's like, you're a crazed queen is what you are. You are just out of your tree.
I think that will be brilliant. I'm sure it will be. I saw Miss Coco interview Jane Fonda, and she was wonderful.
Yeah, she's smart.
She's very
think she's
smart.
Just fake eyelashes and lipstick? No, she's smart and lovely and funny and quick.
And Jane Fonda also was a really good match. I'm glad that that's the first one of these sit-down chats of Coco's that I've seen, because in many ways it seemed like the perfect person for her to be interviewing, because they're both such staunch feminists and they're both so smart, and it really was a fascinating interview. I mean, she really asked good, interesting questions. You could tell she did her homework. I mean, it's really
fun. When two women get together, it's fun. When Coco Peru and Jane Fonda, it was yes, and with
when two women get together.
When two women get together, it's always fun. And two smart feminist women get together like that. It's fun. I do. With Liza, I mean, apparently Liza and Coco were friends back in the day, back when Coco was living in New York. So that should be quite fun to watch them talk about her career and reminisce and do all sorts of fun things. So anyway, but I'm glad you guys were with. I was telling you before. Did I explain the whole thing about SoundCloud and how there are files people can share when I was saying going to SiriusXM.com/OutQ? Did I explain why? I think I got lost in the middle of it. Anyway, if you go to those there or SiriusOutQ.com, there's SoundCloud files, best of the show. You can share it around and send a giggle to a friend. Do that. Also, it'd be so swanky swell if you would follow us on Twitter. I'm at Frank DeCARO Show. Doria is at Doria Biddle. And Gonzo is at The Mighty Beast. So follow each and every one of us on Twitter. We would love it. I'm about 17 people away from 10,000 followers. I realize it would be nice if we could get over 10,000. I would love it to pieces. Also on Facebook, we have fan pages, and we are always posting fun things there. So if you would like us on there, I'd be most grateful. So please do it. I have one. Doria has one. And you'll know you're in the right spot when you see the Glenn Hansen caricature of each of us. You'll know you're there. And definitely do go. And it's a great way for us to get together. So Doria, you know what I learned at dinner the other night? I learned a number of things. We went to dinner. We went to Giovanni's in Woodland Hills. Okay, my Italian place, my cousin owns. Right? It's good to have a cousin in the kitchen. That's what I learned. It's really good because you eat good when they know it's your cousins out there eating. I mean, it's always good there, but it were good. Okay, it was. But here's the thing. This is the other thing I learned. Usually I get the veal Milanese. And I know it's veal, and I know it's bad, and I know, it's they live in cages and they live a rotten life, and I know, and I get it, and I don't care. So anyways, I care, but what's that Blondie song? I care, but I don't care. That's me. I care, but I don't care. So anyway, but I had veal parm, except I had it with the soy cheese. Doria, you know what I learned? Soy cheese is disgusting.
It's not cheese.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Duh.
Even good soy cheese is disgusting. Gonzo, you knew that, didn't you?
Who didn't but you, apparently.
Okay. But me, I hoped against hope. I really did.
You know what bothers me is, I get that they're trying to give you a frame of reference when they refer to something as something that it's not, because
like
then,
soy milk.
Yeah.
Soy milk should be soy. What is
soy juice.
Lewis Black calls it soy juice. Yeah.
Yeah. But because I have a friend who is a raw food guru. She just is all about the raw food. And she will make something and call it something that it's absolutely not. And she makes a cheese sauce for her vegan raw nachos. And they're not nachos. And it's not a cheese sauce. It's basically everything is just chopped vegetables and pureed vegetables, and it's like it's
baby food.
Well, oddly, some of it is
adult food with baby food on top.
And she made this meal that she made us nachos to start, and then we had tacos, and basically it was all the same ingredients, just repurposed.
Well, nachos and tacos kind of hard.
And then she basically, I was in horrible distress for days because cabbage was a huge part of this. And I was in agony, and I told her, I was like, I felt like I had a brick in my stomach for
and you're not
days.
You're not a farter,
Exactly.
So it stayed in there.
No,
yeah.
But I'm not a junk food person. And so it's not like, and she was like, well, sometimes it's a shock to your system when you eat healthy. And
that's true, yeah.
I eat healthy. I just don't eat rabbit food. I eat food that human stomachs are designed to digest. I'm not a cow. I don't have two stomachs.
There's an utter joke there, but I won't make it. So no, I hear you, but I didn't know soy cheese. I didn't know I would hate it that much. I really was. I scraped the soy cheese off. I just was like, yuck. And I was having a very pro tomato night, because you know me, I don't love tomatoes. Just as you're a self-loathing Italian. But I was very I had the calamari with a little bit of tomato sauce, and I thought that the spicy sort of arrabbiata kind of sauce they had with it was delicious. Then I had a tomato out of a friend's salad who didn't eat. I said, could I have your tomato? So I was having a pro tomato night, but I got in the middle of the parm, and I just was like, ugh, The cheese made me mad, and then I was tired of there being tomato sauce on everything.
The cheese made you
The
mad.
cheese made me mad. It really did. I sent it a note. I said, cheese, you're not that much fun even when you're real. I did. And now it's not. The soy
You were
cheese is
probably
not
very sad because you were thinking, maybe this can be my thing. Since I'm lactose intolerant, maybe. And then the disappointment is
Yes.
what made you mad.
And so now the soy
It's like,
cheese is not
no,
speaking to me either.
You did not fill in for real cheese.
So now Jim's friend is not speaking to me, and my soy cheese is not speaking to me. And it canceled on me after it showed up. I'll tell you, soy cheese, disgusting. So there was that. The other thing I learned, and this was fun, Supernatural and South of Nowhere have many fans. That's the other thing I learned.
I know South of Nowhere does.
Yes, Doria, because one of the lesbian characters, the straight actress who plays one of the lesbian characters on South of Nowhere, is the niece of my dear friend who's staying with us. And so we all went out together, and people were making a big fuss over her and her husband, who also was on that show. So we had dinner. He's Matt Cohen, and she's Mandy Musgrave, and they're from South of Nowhere. And I went, and I told her, I said, you do know when you were, she didn't know this. I said, when you were 5, we went on Space Mountain together at Disney World. And she was like, get out of here.
I mentioned that to her. I met her at an event because she does lots of lesbian events, and she had no memory.
The lesbians like her. They do.
Because you were calling her your niece.
No.
And you were playing it up like,
niece.
Yeah, I know. But when you were whenever you brought her up, you always said, she's my niece too, and I want.
No, that's my. No, Lissy is my niece.
No.
Mandy's not my niece.
You had this like super tight bond
with
this girl,
no.
and then I mentioned you to her, and she had no idea who you were.
No,
and
she's
I felt
not.
like an idiot.
No, well.
No, you had told the story many times. If you
Well,
only told it once, I wouldn't have remembered it because chances are it would not have been one of the times I was actually paying attention to you.
Just say I'd been on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride with a young Kay Ballard. Let's just say that. And then she went on to do the Mothers in Lives. Oh, guess what? When she was a kid, I took Kay Ballard on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Just say. Okay, I made that part up. But just you tell people, guess what? When she was looking, and she went on to do the Mother's Law. Isn't that great? And you'd brag about it. Well, this girl, we went on Space Mountain. She went on to do South of Nowhere. She's a beautiful girl. She's a gorgeous husband. They're so cute together. So it was very cute. It was very, very fun. And then the little sneak, the husband went off and paid for dinner for all of us. That little brat. Anyway, snuck right out there. So anyway, even my stinky soy cheese. Okay, so that's what I learned. Okay, good to be out with celebrities. Great to have a cousin in the kitchen, and soy cheese bites the big one. Okay, that's what I learned at dinner. It was very fun. You have to actually take it do you get a craving for that real sort of Little Italy / New Jersey kind of Italian, Doria? Do you like a good red sauce place once in a while? Mm-hmm. You come over, we'll schlep out to Woodland Hills. We go to Giovanni's. It's fun. It's far.
I'm not going to bloody Woodland Hills.
It was fun. And the producer of I've Got a Secret was there again. Okay? So how fun is that?
He works there, friend.
No, he doesn't work there. He's always at table
that.
1. He does not work there. He was there with her. And you know who he was there with?
I didn't want you to know.
You want to know who he was there with? Alf.
Somebody
he was there with Alf.
Somebody that he plopped down with. Oh, God, Frank's here, and he doesn't know I work here.
No, he works. Oh, please, he works on Dr. Drew. No, he was there with Alf.
I don't know Alf.
The puppet Alf, who eats cats. Alf, the puppet.
Why is there a puppet in the restaurant?
Frank? It wasn't a puppet. It was the fella behind the puppet.
Red sauce all over him.
He didn't. There was no Alf. The puppet wasn't. It was the guy behind Alf.
I can just throw him in the washer.
He's drip dry. It's true, but he was there with Alf. Is that the funnest thing ever? I just love it. Doria, my computer's going wonky again. Put our caller through. What did you do?
Wah Bear in California.
Hey, Wah.
Hey, guys. Frank, you disappoint me greatly. Have to admit it. With your behavior...
On a daily basis, though. It's not... Well, this isn't new. Yeah, okay, no, go ahead. So what I do now?
Because what I was expecting you to lead up to with the restaurant story is that when you got so angry over the soy cheese, that you raced into the kitchen and started berating your cook cousin right in front of everybody, and then he kicked you out of the restaurant. But you didn't do that, so I guess you have some restraints on you after all.
I would never do that to my cousin. I don't know him that well. When I know him well, I'll pull shit, but not now. And also, he has access to knives, and he's Italian. There's any number of things that I would just be like, oh, I am so not going to piss him off. And don't you do it either. Okay, I'm telling you, you'll end up with they start with the pinky. Whack, they get one off. You'd be very scared.
And Wabear?
Yes.
Wow.
It's all about the European Space Agency now. NASA's old news.
Sorry,
Oh,
Wa.
I know. Yeah, Rosetta's up there now and doing good things. And yeah, it's all USA. It is.
She woke up.
I don't know what you're talking about, but God bless. Anyway, thank you so much. What's the European Space Agency?
They sent a probe after it's
Probing.
up there, and it was basically asleep, and they just turned it on because it's about to, I guess, it's on its way to explore a comet.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
I know. You don't often.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce.
How often? Okay, I have a weird question. I've seen 2 shooting stars in the last week or so. Is that
I saw
typical?
several when I was up. Yeah.
I never saw them before, ever.
It's not typical here in Los Angeles.
I was
because
walking the dog.
You can barely even see the sky. But,
Dark in my neighborhood, though.
yeah. But
I was wondering.
they're shooting stars all the time.
Yeah, I never saw them before. Now I looked up and said, ooh, look. It was exciting. I make a wish every time. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to make a wish when it's 11:11. That's what someone told me. On the clock. They make a wish. Let's
Why
get 2
is
wishes a
everybody
day.
all about 11:11?
People like it
Who
looks
made that?
pretty on a digital clock.
For me, 3:33 is always what it's
Really?
about. I always seem to wake up at 3:33 in the morning.
In terror.
It's half of 666.
It's the night terrors. It's devilish and not the devil. So there's that. I've been waking up a lot the last couple of nights. It's been a lot of wakey.
I was up for 2 hours last
Oh,
night.
I went right back to sleep, but I didn't. And I just sort of looked at the clock with one eye, like, what the hell is this about?
Such a bummer.
Again, what were you worried about? Because you had to go to work today.
Yeah, I was up from 2 to 4.
And then did you go back to sleep for a while? Mm-hmm. 2 to 6, or 4 to 6 at least?
Yeah.
Well, it's something. What time did you
Right
start?
before,
When did you go to bed?
2 to I had my alarm set for 6, and I woke up 5:45.
That's good. Yeah, 5:45 when I get up. Got the alarm went off.
I usually wake up at 5:30, half hour before the alarm goes off.
That's
the
at
alarm
least.
is so if I'm dead to the world, I wake up at 6. That's
I
when the
reach
alarm
over,
goes
I
off.
turn the alarm on my phone off, and I go to Twitter. That's the first thing I do is I go look on Twitter and see who responded to something I tweeted.
The other morning, what morning was it? Saturday morning, I think I woke up and I looked at my cable box to see what time it was, and it said EAS on it, the emergency alert system.
Oh, that's not good.
And I was like, oh, crap, what's going on? So I turned on the TV to see, just if it was like a test or if something was going on. And it was just showing time code. It was a black screen with time code that was just flying by. And I was like, I've never seen this before. And the channel wouldn't change. It was just stuck on that. And I was like, well, that can't be good. And then I picked up my phone and went on Twitter and nothing was going on. So I turned the TV off and the DVR off and turned it back on again. And
Well, don't you want, when you see that, don't you go to the window and look, see if there's not a post-nuclear landscape outside the window? It's like, well, I hope when I look,
figure
it's not so bad.
it wouldn't be a post-nuclear. I would have awakened. It would not have.
You never know. You could be out for a
I am
while.
not somebody who's going to sleep through the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Frank. I can't sleep
I hope I do.
on an uncomfortable mattress. I mean, it takes very
so if you're
little
the-
to awaken
If you're the
me
Princess and the Pea, the apocalypse
Yeah,
is going to
it's
wake
gonna
you
wake
up.
me
Okay,
up.
so I'm awake. Let's
and
go.
keep me up. I'm not going to go back to sleep again. A friend of mine, his wife, after the Northridge quake, of course, it woke everybody up because it was terrifying. And but she was like, I can't deal with this, and she went right back to sleep.
I think that would be me. I think it would be like, I'm going back to sleep. This
It
is
wouldn't
horrible.
stop shaking. It never stopped shaking. It was like every couple of minutes, it would just go boom, 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 boom.
Oh, after the quake, there were like a zillion
there
aftershocks?
were so many aftershocks. And I remember at one point I was trying to sleep and it was like boom, 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 boom. And I just went, make it stop. Because I was so stressed out by that point. You're thinking, oh, please just let me be mercifully unconscious. Then I don't care if the house collapses on my head. But no, I couldn't. And I was so stressed out and anxious and exhausted.
Yeah, I'm scared. I have to say
But it
it's a
was
little
like,
scary.
boom, 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 boom.
That little one that woke us up last week, You know, that teensy-weensy little one?
I didn't even feel it.
I just was like, well, I did the stupid thing. I was sitting there going like, oh, yeah, you think everything's an earthquake. Go back to sleep. I went back to sleep. You know, like a moron. So I'm telling you, I hope I'm in.
It's a little quick. You should have gone back to sleep.
I know, but I was going to say, I like that I'm in California for Winter Storm Janice. And I hope next time there's a big quake, I'm in New Jersey. And I read about it on the Twitter. I really do. I want, after having to live through being, you know, in Manhattan for 9/11, I think I'm done. Okay? I was like, I don't want to do anymore. I'm finished. Thanks for everything. I want it to all be champagne and roses from here on out.
I've been through the riots and Northridge.
Been through them. You caused half of those.
And
can't we all get along, please? It's running around.
He said that. I said no.
And that's what started
slapped
it.
him.
That's my Biddle. When we return, oh wait, let's take this call and then we'll go to take a break. Let's go to Mr. Mike in Indiana. You're on the Frank Show. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Frank and Doria, how are you?
Good.
Doria, you strike me as a very intelligent woman. I love listening to you. Frank, you make me laugh all the time.
I'll take that. Okay.
All right, and the Northridge earthquake, I went out there as a naive 1994, working for a large insurance company. They put me up at the Century Plaza the first week, and these people are living in tents, and I didn't know what to think. I felt so guilty. But the point is, I was at the 18th floor when that 7.5 aftershock hit, and maybe I'm getting the number wrong.
Yeah, because the Northridge quake was 6 point.
Yeah, 7.5 is the aftershock that ends everything. Yeah, that's.
So it's probably there were a couple of 5 point over 5 point, and those are scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stunningly ignorant, but yeah, I was on the 18th floor, and the Century Plaza, you know, the West White House, is very well built, and the door to my bathroom flung shut, you know, shuttered, and I was on the phone with friends in Indiana who'd been through the 89 earthquake, and they said, oh, no, you're fine. And as I'm sitting there piddling in my pants, kind of wondering
Which is the right reaction. That is one of several correct responses to this, yeah.
Absolutely, but then I got moved out to Westlake. And so I'm out there, and I was in a large staging building with other insurance people, and the entire building went through, you know, as you throw your arms up in a wave at a stadium, but no one was throwing their arms up. It just rolled through. People were screaming. The lights were shaking. What an experience. Thank you, California.
I was going to say, and the right response, even to a very tiny one, even if you're on the radio, you say, holy shit. That's the right reaction to things. Or piddling in your pants, as you said, that's a good reaction. If you scream, fuck me with a bat, that's good, too. I mean, there's any number of exclamations that you can possibly make. So,
you know,
all right, take care, Dom.
I had a very nice sports car as a rental because they rented everything, town cars, Miatas, whatever you wanted.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I was in West Hollywood. I'd never been there, and this very cute blonde leaned his head in the window and said, hi, and I about freaked out. That's how Midwestern I am. I'm from Indiana.
We're very friendly here, too.
He married him. Oh, very friendly. For $50, he'd have given you a Hummer that afternoon. He really would have. Take care of yourself. Thanks for your call. When we return to the Frank Show, we'll have some more fun here on Sirius
and
XM.
more phone calls.
Bruce's Hidden Valley Blanche dressing return you now to the creamy goodness of the Frank DeCARO Show on OutQ.
It's Frank DeCARO. And guess what? Live in Los Angeles, along with the lovely Miss Doria Biddle. We're taking your calls at 866-305-6887 as we progress through another edition of the Frank Show, live here on this, what are we, a Tuesday? It's a Tuesday, isn't it? In it. So you get that Monday off, and then you get confused. Jared in Palm Springs, you're on the Frank Show.
Yeah, Frank, you know, it cracks me up. You know, being an old native of Los Angeles, I hear all these transplants, you know, like Doria talking about the Northridge quake and the riots of 92. And you guys don't remember, we had even worse riots in 1965. My dad was building a liquor store right in the midst of it when I was about 9, 10 years old. And then we also had a big earthquake in 1971 when I was in high school, but nobody even knows about those. All they remember are the 90s.
Yeah, the last big one. Yeah. No, we definitely do. So does it make you any better? Does it make you any better at handling it when you've been through it since you were a kid?
The other stuff was just a breeze,
We
Jared, because he's sturdy, pioneering stock.
Well, actually, Frank,
You went through the San Francisco quake in 1906 too, didn't
That was
you,
a rough
Jared?
one. We had a good time, didn't
yeah.
we, Jared?
Yes, me and my grandma were scared shitless. Oh, God.
Diamond Lil was his. If people don't, Diamond Lil was Jared's grandma. All right, behave yourself. Thanks for your call, though. So anyway, yeah, it's the one in Frisco was really a rough one. Remember we called it Frisco, Doria, back in the day. Called it Frisco.
All my San Francisco friends are like, "You're not allowed to say that."
Yeah, why are you not allowed to say anything?
That makes me want to say it.
I know they always say Frisco. It's at worst. The worst you're supposed to say is the only way you can get away with maybe is San Fran, right? But don't say Frisco. Going up to Frisco. So I don't say that, and I don't hate. Everyone says you hate San Francisco. I don't really hate San Francisco. I just don't relate. Okay, I just people are like, did you like looking? I said I liked it. I just didn't relate to it. It's it's just, and it's set in San Francisco. I don't always relate to things. So, oh, did you see that tweet? There was an article. I think it's on Huffington Post, and they were talking about how pissed off they are when people talk about outrage fatigue, internet outrage fatigue, and how they're mad. They're pissed off at everybody for being so goddamn mad. It was interesting.
We've talked about that on the show.
I know, no, but the author of this piece was talking about how offensive it is for you to say you're tired of everybody being outraged. That was the whole thing. The gist of the piece was
Defending more outrage.
saying that basically the internet has given rise to voices that never got heard, and the people who are...
That's not what people are fatigued of. It's the stupid outrage.
So, well, this whole piece was...
nothing is stupid outrage. It's all...
Yeah, they're saying just turn the other way. If people are mad, just
feels-
listen to them, be furious with everything.
And more than anything, I don't think I'm fatigued. I'm amused by it. I'm always amused at the things that people tend to get up in arms about.
Well, someone got really mad in our own community. Someone got furious. One of the tweets I read was they were mad that Jared Leto said transgendered instead of transgender. And I was like, I think you got to cut someone a break for an ED. It's like, it might be nice if he were a little
They're going up
together about it, but I don't think...
Speaking off the cuff before millions of people, I'd give them a little assume
Give him an ED.
that he probably knows better, but he stumbled a bit, and we all do that. We all got up.
But someone got all worked up over that. I was like, I think that I understand being pissed off about stuff, but that was sort of like, I don't think we need to get that mad over 2 letters. I think that's a little bit of trouble. But I thought it was an interesting article. So basically, the whole gist of it was the only people who are pissed off about it are white men. They're like, the only one tired of outrage are white men.
But white men are among the most outraged.
Yeah, well, no, they were going on saying basically that white men are the only ones who are talking about outrage fatigue. That they're tired of hearing him. No, because it's like, they did.
They started it.
But they're...
Try being a woman on the internet, and then you'll see all kinds of fun.
Yeah, there's a fun one. Let's go to. Which one? Want to do one first?
Yeah.
All right, good. Lance, I'd like to know which you want to go first. I just said, do you want to go left? Do you want to go right?
Jared's still on.
Jared,
hang up. Get a life.
Be nicer to Jared. Now stop that.
No,
Lance
he's
in
not
California.
nice to me,
Well, no, he's never nice to you.
You
It's
should
true.
see the emails.
I know he sends you awful emails. Lance in California, you're on the Frank Show.
Oh, I'm up in Washington today. I live in California. But I was in the Whittier earthquake downtown L.A., and the skyscrapers looked like they were going to tip over. My great-grandfather owned a dry cleaners in San Francisco in 1906, and he was in that one right there on Market Street. And then what else?
Wait, but if you're a dry cleaner and after an earthquake, I bet you'd get a lot of business. Look what spilled. I would guess.
The city burned after that. The city burned.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
bad.
I
All
don't
right.
think he
Sorry,
was a dry
never
cleaner
mind.
after that.
Frank, I wanted to make a suggestion to you. While you're in L.A., you need to make reservations at the Getty Museum in Malibu. It's a replica of Caesar's father-in-law's villa in Herculaneum that, 100 years later, that was covered in that ash. And all the artifacts are in there. And, it's free. All you got to do is make reservations to park your car and you got to go in the morning because you want to spend all day in
It's
there
beautiful.
and read and look at the jewelry and the vases, the helmets. And then the Getty Villa is sitting out on the ledge out there that's getting ready to roll down the mountain. No, they're trying to say this.
So is it?
Do it now while it's still
Well,
there.
do it that while it's still there. No, but here's the question. So, but can you try on the jewelry or not?
Well, no, but I mean, yeah, it's the most beautiful jewelry you've ever seen. It's in glass cases. That it's so
Oh,
detailed.
damn! You have to
just-
ask them. Can I see that one? That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh,
I
yeah,
want to go and act like it's a store. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll like say, can I see that one,
lunch
that
there.
headpiece? Yeah.
Take a lunch there and eat lunch there and spend all day there and look how the Romans lived. You can see the ancient Romans knew how to live. I mean, they lived very
Frank
well.
is an ancient Roman.
At this point, I am an ancient Roman, actually. And Lance, take care of yourself. It's nice to hear from you, and I'll have to take that into advisement, and I will go. Mike in North Carolina, you're on the Frank Show.
Hi, Frank. Hey, Doria. I haven't called in since last year. Happy New Year to you. I know it's a little
Hi,
late.
Dolly Dingle.
New
What's
Year.
up?
Yeah, I had a question. You know, tomorrow is Coven Day, so I wanted to know, Frank, who do you think the Supreme is?
Florence Ballard, actually, I do. I think, no, I'm teasing. No, I honestly, I'm behind. I didn't see last week's, and I didn't see Sleepy Hollow last night either. So I'm really behind on a lot of stuff. I haven't caught it. So I don't know who it's going to turn out. I don't know what my choices are at this. Did they get rid of anybody last week, or is everybody, all the key players still in place?
I don't want to tell you. You have to watch, you know.
Okay, yeah, don't give it up. And did you watch
Stevie Nicks?
I hope it's Stevie.
I
hope it's.
Stevie Nicks was everything. She was everything on that episode.
What if it turns out to be Liza, and that's why Coco Peru is interviewing her? That would be. I'd watch that. I think it would be fun. And Mike, I don't know, but we'll have to catch up. Did you get to hear the interview with Dennis O'Hare, who plays Spalding, who was on our show on Friday?
I was mad. I was working, and I got into my car, and I heard you talk about the picture. I was so pissed off. I didn't hear it.
Well, we'll have him back. I swear. Well, thanks a lot for your call. It's always a pleasure. And don't be stranger. It's always fun when we hear from you. It's fine. Jared's still hanging on, Doria. Should we find out what he's doing? I'm going to ask him. Wait. Jared, what are you doing on the phone still? Jared.
He doesn't know how to hang up.
Jared.
It's a newfangled
I'm
contraption.
going to do this, then. I'm hanging up on
Telephones,
him.
they're never going to last.
Maybe he was gone. He might have gone on. Maybe he just had us on hold. You know? I hung up on him. That's the way it goes. Give him the old once over. So, Doria, where should we go now? We talked about one story so far today about Ben Affleck's Big Schwanstoker, that Chuck Lorre looked and said, "Oh, look what you have." Do we have is there a vagina equivalent? There is.
Yes, there is.
Oh my God! All right. So Jennifer Lawrence, America's Sweetheart, they said that she may have looked stunning at the SAG Awards on the 18th. Right? When was that? A few days back. And they said, they said she found some flaw in what she was wearing, and so she was talking to Juliana Rancic, and she said, "Oh my God, your Dior dress is fabulous." She said, "I know I have armpit fat. It's okay though," is what she said to Juliana. And of course she was like, "Oh, please, you do not." And she said, "No, it's armpit vaginas. It's awful." Doria, what's the armpit vagina?
I have no idea. I've
I don't
never
know
ever
either.
heard that expression. but-
Although, I do think a punk band, like if Jason Ellis changes his band is called Death, Death, Die right now. Isn't that the name of it? I think that's it. Die, Die. Death, Death, Die. I think that's the name.
did not know
I
he
think
had a band.
Armpit Vagina would be a good name for him, I think. So anyway, she said, "I see myself in all these cameras," Jennifer Lawrence said. She said, "It's horrible. I need horse shaders," meaning she needs blinders, right? So she wouldn't be able to see. And so they said, so somebody screamed, they were asking her about her dress. She said, "Dior." And she said, "You asked me already, and all I talked about was armpit vagina." And that was it. So armpit vagina, I mean, does she feel that her armpit, like when the fat comes up, that it ends up being like labial folds? I mean, where's she going with this, Doria?
I don't know, Frank.
You pulled the story and you know your way around a vag, and I don't. I've never been. I've never even visited.
You watched the SAG Awards.
No, I didn't watch the SAG Awards.
Oh.
Maybe she had a saggy armpit vagina, and that's why it was the SAG Awards. I don't know. But she's very cute. Do you think Jennifer Lawrence is going to win the Oscar again? I think she just might.
She might.
She just might get a second Oscar.
She needs
good.
to
You need
worry
bookends.
that she's very overexposed right now.
Yes,
And
but everyone's
so
loving on her
she's
big
headed
time.
to Anne Hathaway territory.
You think?
Yeah.
What if she ends up being the new Sandra Bullock? you know. And I was like, oh, you're just so cute, and we all love you, and it's fun, and now you should go marry someone
Sandra
with
Bullock
tattoos.
was never as omnipresent as
No,
Jennifer Lawrence.
I thought she was kind of around for a while. I never figure out who anybody is, you know, until it's way too late. But I know who Jennifer Lawrence is. That's fine. I just hated that movie. So, well, I didn't hate it. I just didn't think it was all that in a bag of chips. I was like, meh. I had a meh to American Hustle. Like, meh. Meh. That's like us. All right, now this is fun news it's good from armpit vaginas to regular ones. Laura Linney became a new mom at 49. How fun is that?
And guess what she named the child?
Rock and roll. No. She named the baby Bennett Armistead Shower because her husband's Mark Shower. Anyway, Mark Did-You. His middle name is Did-You. Did-You Shower. Anyway, but Bennett Armistead Shower is very cute, and apparently they're doing just fine. She's 49. The baby is
Armistead Mop.
49 minutes, and she named the baby. That's very sweet. I love that because she was, of course, in Tales of the City, Armistead Maupin's, the miniseries based on Armistead Maupin's landmark work, but she has the final volume of it just came out recently, so we're excited for that. So it was called The Days of Anna Madrigal. Is that the name of the new one? I think that's the name of the most recent one. Anyway, but we love Armistead. Always have. So anyway, but good for Laura Linney. She is so damn good. I love her to pieces. You know, it was a weird. I saw a video. Cole Escola, who's been on our show just recently, he did a thing. It was called "Straight Guy Peeing on a Toilet Seat," and he announced that he said, "I'm Laura Linney" was the thing, and he was. I didn't get it. It was funny, and
How was it funny?
I don't know. He peed on a toilet seat. I don't know. I didn't.
What made that funny?
I don't know. He's like wandering around, touching himself and stuff, and I saw it on the interweb. So anyway, but he announced that he described himself, he said, you know, I'm Laura Linney, and that was where he went with it. So I don't know. Good for him. These kids today, I don't really know. Well, good for Laura Linney. First child at 49. God bless. So
Better her than me.
I know.
Ouch.
The weird thing is she delivered it through her armpit vagina. That was what was really weird. So Jennifer Lawrence sent her a bouquet, you know, said, here, have a fun thing. Oh, speaking of a bouquet, Jim came out from TCA the other night with a rose that they'd given out from The Bachelor. And then stupid Juan Pablo put his pretty foot in his stupid mouth. Okay? Or his stupid foot in his pretty mouth. That's what it was. It was like, what the hell's with it? And I know his English isn't his first language, but it was like he was just spouting shit left and right. Homophobic shit all over the place. It's like, what is with you?
He said gays are perverted.
Yeah, he used the word perverted. He said pervert. He didn't say perverted. No, the fun ones are perverted. The ones who, when they blow you off at the last minute, if they're a big pervert, you say, well, it's all right. It's like, well, why can't you I'm fisting someone. All right, knock yourself out. Wash. That's what you say. If it was that reason, that's better than I'm depressed and I want to go out.
I think somebody is involved.
Someone says, I've had it up to here, and they point to their elbow, then, you know, then that's interesting.
I don't think we take what is wholesome and good for children from somebody who's on a TV show like The Bachelor.
Yeah, no. Because you're sort of like on your card, it says jerk face. Is sort of the thing. And you know what I love, though? This is the kind of joke I think is funny. Someone said that if they were him, I retweeted this today. They said if they were him, they would worry that that their eyes would get even closer together in their sleep, is what they worried, and that would become one eye, basically, is what they were worried about, because his eyes apparently are very close together. But that's the kind of bitchy thing that I really get a kick out of. So, but yeah, and it was just putting your stupid foot in your pretty mouth. Do not do that, okay? And then backpedal. And then, of course, the network is like, oh, he's in it. But it's like, don't you? That's another case of, you know, you should realize who you're dealing with here. It's like when the Duck Dynasty guy said what he said. It's like, it's not like all of a sudden, you know, it's somebody that you wouldn't expect to say that kind of thing said it. He was like, no, he's going to say something stupid. It's like, surprise, stupidity. Let's go to the phones. Here we go. Scott in Florida, you're on the Frank Show.
This is actually Randall in Florida. How are you?
Oh, hi. Bernice. You get to be, remember, when the name is wrong, you end up as Bernice. Bernice, go ahead.
Bernice, I'm Laura Linney thing that you were talking about earlier.
Yes.
That's how she introduces Masterpiece Theater, and you would know that Philistine